You're listening to EPN, the ePodcast Network. This is Enterprise Radio and your host, Eric Dye.
This is Eric Dye, and once again, welcome to Enterprise Radio, working in association with our Legal Corner, your EPN channel for exclusive interviews with entrepreneurs, small business owners, lawyers, and some of the world's top executives who are having great success. This is where they share their latest creations, products, services, experiences, as well as business strategies and insights per their expertise that can all help you build your business, leading to your business and personal success. Today we are with Mr. Galen J. Criscione, a part of Criscione, Ravala Tabatchouk, LLP, serving clients in D.C., Florida, Michigan, New Jersey, and New York for personal injury. Mr. Criscione, welcome to Enterprise Radio.
Thank you. How are you today?
Doing great. Good to have you. Certainly looking forward to our topic today on personal injury. Certainly something that folks need to be more in on the inside track on to know what their rights are. So first of all, for starters, what made you want to become an attorney?
Well, what I think is best about being an attorney is we're sort of problem solvers. So, people come to us. It's not they don't know a precise legal issue and say, help me with this legal issue. They just come to me with a problem and they say, I need help. How do you solve my problem? So, I think that's really what I liked about being an attorney. What I enjoy about it is helping people solve their problems from start to finish, and figuring out how they can get things done. Essentially, it's very satisfying to help a client and figure out their problems from start to finish.
Certainly brings satisfaction for sure. Now, what should people do right after they get into a car accident?
Most people get into a car accident. They don't know what to do. They're sort of in shock. They're in a daze. Obviously, first thing you need to do is make sure everyone's okay. And then you should call the police. And a lot of people, if it's a minor car accident, they sometimes don't call the police, and the other driver wants to figure it out, say, oh, let's not call the police, let's not call insurance. And then that can run into problems later on if you're injured and you need help and you need your medical costs covered. And, people are obviously not thinking about insurance or medical costs or lawsuits, rightly so, right after having an accident. But if you can kind of keep these things in your mind and make sure you call the police, get a police report, it's very important. It can really help later on down the line. And, you'll be happy later on that you sort of started figuring things out once you were in a car accident. If you just remember, oh, I have to call the police, need to get a police report and, help them down the line.
What should someone do when the insurance company for the at-fault driver calls?
Yeah, so this happens a lot. Maybe a couple weeks after someone gets in an accident, if you were in a car accident and it was another person's fault, that other person's insurance company is going to call you, and they're going to sound nice and sort of, oh, how can we resolve this? And on one hand, they are trying to resolve the situation, but at the end of the day, their interest is minimizing their cost. And many people, many of my clients, before they came to me, they said the insurance company called them and they don't know what to do, and the insurance company basically tries to say, oh, you can't get this, you can't get that, we'll pay a portion of your bills, your medical bills or whatever, and it's really not enough. So I always suggest to people, if I can get a hold of them before they get to this point, that's really when they might want to consider getting an attorney, and try not to give a lot of information to the other insurance company, because they're not on your side in a sense. They're just trying to minimize their own costs. So at that point, you would want to consider getting an attorney, because even right after an attorney steps in, we start talking to the insurance companies, and they'll offer more money. And it's not about just making a big payday. You have medical costs. People miss work. You need extra pay. It's very important to be compensated at these times in the several weeks to several months after an accident. So I would say if the insurance company calls, give them as little information as possible, and that's when I would call an attorney.
Certainly some good advice right there. Today we're joined by Mr. Galen J. Criscione, a partner at Criscione, Ravala Tabatchouk, LLP, serving clients in D.C., Florida, Michigan, New Jersey, and New York for personal injury here on Enterprise Radio, a part of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network, working in association with our Legal Corner. You can also follow the show on Twitter simply at ePodcast Network. Mr. Criscione, when should a person consult an attorney?
Well, like I said, after the insurance company calls, around that time, maybe a couple weeks after you start going to the doctor, getting medical rehabilitation or MRIs, CAT scans, those kind of things. And, a lot of people are a little wary of calling an attorney, and they don't, if they haven't had experience, it's sort of, we have the reputation of being a little scary to people if they haven't used us before. But honestly, at the end of the day, a job for an attorney is to work for the client. We're making their life more simple, making things easier and less confusing, and trying to get them where they need to be. So if you're involved in a car accident, you don't want to deal with all these things with the insurance company and the doctors and the hospitals. And we step in and we basically say, we're going to solve your problem. Don't worry about it. And it honestly makes things a lot easier. So if people are nervous about calling an attorney, at the end of the day, they'll be happy they did, because, as I said earlier, I'm here to solve their problems.
There are so many personal injury attorneys out there. Why would someone want to choose you as their attorney?
Yeah, it's a good question, and there are a lot of personal injury attorneys out there, especially I do most of my personal injury practice in Florida, and there's billboards everywhere. So why would someone choose me as their attorney? The biggest thing I try to do to differentiate myself from everyone else is really being available for the client. And what that means is when a client calls me, just honestly really listening to them, listening to their concerns, what they want out of this, what they want to get done, and to be available. The number one complaint I hear about from clients that have had previous attorneys and then come to us is that we call them back. And then a lot of times attorneys will explain things to clients in complicated ways, and they really just need someone to be there to explain what's going on, to make sense of it, and to be available. And at the end of the day, I'm friends with a lot of my clients, and I think that shows that I'm there, I listen to them, and I'm there to help them. So I enjoy that aspect of it, just sort of the people-to-people interaction and dealing with clients and helping them through whatever they're going through.
And in conclusion, any advice on how to generate clients as a lawyer?
Yeah, a lot of it is just sort of in-person, person-to-person referrals. You have to get out there and you have to talk to people. And once you get in conversations with people and they like you, honestly, that's how you're going to get your clients. And I get a lot of clients from referrals as well, from other attorneys, other friends that say, go to this guy, he'll help you. And it's all about person to person, really.
And I would have thought you would respond in that way as well. Do you do any other marketing outside of the referral networks and personal networks?
Yeah, we do a little. We do some advertising. We've done a radio ad. We do some internet advertising and things like that. We're a small firm. We don't have a huge budget, so for us, it's largely about getting out there and talking to people and doing a good job essentially, so that a client will refer us to another client.
Certainly some helpful information. Certainly has been good to have had you. Where can folks get more information on your firm?
Well, they can go to our website. It's www.lawcrt.com. It's LAWCRT.com. And all the information is on there. We have our phone numbers, our email address. We have offices in New York, New Jersey, and Florida. And additionally, I'm licensed in Michigan and D.C., as you mentioned. So, I have a fairly large area I cover, and everything is there on our website. You can get a hold of me.
Fantastic, covering some ground there. Certainly appreciate your time today here on Enterprise Radio, and look forward to another conversation in the future.
Thank you very much.
And you're more than welcome. We've been speaking with Mr. Galen J. Criscione, a partner at Criscione, Ravala Tabatchouk, LLP, serving clients in D.C., Florida, Michigan, New Jersey, and New York for personal injury. And once again, the website for more information and for contact is lawcrt.com. And this is Eric Dye, and you've been listening to Enterprise Radio, a part of EPN, the Entrepreneur Podcast Network. Pick up our iPhone or Android mobile app for your mobile listening convenience. And once again, we do thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for listening to Enterprise Radio here on EPN. For more information or to subscribe to this podcast, visit epodcastnetwork.com.